And welcome back to our community. Jamie Miner is still with us, and we are joined by Trixie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Understand that you are one of the folks who go to Rising Hope. Want to hear about Rising Hope from your perspective. First of all, how did you find out about it, Trixie? What drew you into the doors that first time?
Chad walked up to me on the street and asked me if I wanted groceries. And I went to a grocery giveaway where he gave a little talk beforehand, before everybody prayed, and it touched my heart. And we've been meeting up ever since. I started going, I don't even think there was a Rising Hope quite yet when I first met Chad. So I guess I'm a beginner.
One of the founding members.
One of the founding members.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Jamie, is this one of the ministries of Rising Hope? I'm just asking if someone needs groceries and the grocery giveaways. Is that a regular thing?
Chad has an affiliation with Urban Arc, which does food giveaway on the first and third Thursday evening of every month. So we partner with Urban Arc for that. But I would say what Chad does a lot of times is he just kind of walks around downtown Canton and talks to people and is not afraid to walk up to them and say, how are you? What are you struggling with? How can I help you? And I think that's what he did with Trixie. And
That was exactly it.
I'm sure he walked up to her and she probably thought, who is this weird tall guy coming up to talk to me? But
What did you think? What is it? First of all, there's something a little unsettling sometimes about a stranger walking up and talking to you. So what was your perception at first, Trixie?
That actually is not an issue for me. I really kind of don't know a stranger. My first instinct was to make a smart comment right back to him, which I did, and we still chuckle over. I was in a homeless shelter at the time. I wasn't working. I was dealing with some mental issues, and sure, I can come get groceries. And then it was after hearing him speak, he made me cry, which was a good thing. When I asked him after the fact if he happened to know where I could get a Bible, he handed me his own personal copy, which really kind of touched me too. And then it was just a matter of, let's have a cup of coffee, let's go to lunch, what are you doing, can I help you, what can I do for you? And it's the answer to that has been a lot. Helping me find employment,
Wonderful.
helping me with some of my issues. I have found a family in Rising Hope, and y'all have saved my life in more ways than one.
Okay. That's pretty awesome, because my next question was, how are you now? What is the difference between that day and this day? You've kind of started to touch on that, but let's go a little deeper.
Well, I not only go to church every Sunday, but my Rising Hope family is a huge part of my everyday life. I have a family. I have a support system that I have never in my life known. I battle addiction, but I'm clean today.
Congratulations.
I had gainful employment for a while. I had a bit of a setback, so I'm right now concentrating on getting back to myself.
In what? Let's find you a job right now. What are you looking for?
I don't know. I've been in food service business. Okay, dream job.
there you go.
Let's go for that.
Dream big.
Dream job.
Yep.
I would really, really, really like to be a caretaker.
Okay.
Kind of what I do.
And I think we have a reference for you, because Jamie, has Trixie been watching your own boys, or does she at times care for them?
She does.
I watch Frank more than anybody.
Yeah, she does. She watches our dog.
Frankie's my man. I love him.
So, caretaker for children or animals or both or either?
Any.
Yeah.
I think that's just in my nature. And like I was raised in a church, but it was not a good fit. I guess that's a decent way to put it. I've spent my entire life searching for a higher power. And I actually had this conversation Thursday. For the first time in my entire life, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. It scares me because I never, ever in a million years would have thought this was where I was supposed to be, but I am. So
it's interesting, isn't it, how we get to know that there is a God and He loves us and He loves you through the actions of other people and broken people. But in just your congregation, Jamie, and you and Chad, and now you, Trixie, reaching out to other people who are where we have been, and to be able to be His hands and feet in their lives is such a privilege, isn't it?
It is.
You want to just touch on that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, we love Trixie. Consider her part of our family, and I think back to what we talked about kind of at the beginning of the show and kind of how Rising Hope all got started. Well, that year that Chad's dad was sick was the loneliest year for us because we just felt like we didn't have a lot of people around us, and we craved that community. And for us to be able to now have a chance to provide that community to other people is really special to us. From the outside, people probably thought that our lives were pretty good, and they were, but there were things missing too, and so just again having the opportunity to provide that to other people, it's awesome.
Yeah. I'm hearing that you and Chad get ministered to as much as ministering to others.
Absolutely, there's no question about that. Trixie says we saved her life, but we feel the same way. Being able to be there as people's passion for God kind of gets ignited, and you just see them, just see their faith beginning to grow. And I mean, that for us is creates passion and spark. And it makes us remember God is real, and He's working and He is moving, and we get to be a part of that. And it's awesome.
More than we could even ask or think.
Yeah.
We are talking to Jamie Miner with Trixie. Chad Miner is here, if you heard him in the first half as well, finding out about Rising Hope. And let's remind everybody that you do meet at 11-ish on Sunday mornings at McGregor School. Tell us more about how we can find out about you. Facebook page, website, where do we go?
We do have a Facebook page. I think if you just search Rising Hope Canton, you'd probably be able to find it. You can like the page, and then you'll be able to see all of our goings on. And then we also have a website, www.risinghopecanton.org, I think.
We'll give that a try.
Yeah, give that
or
a
Google
try.
it.
Or Google it, yeah. Rising Hope Canton, you'll find us. We try to post on the Facebook page regularly. And then we have some events coming up. We have a worship night again the first Friday of every month. So we'll have one in December and again in January and so on. And then we're going to have a game night in December. That's a first for us, but we're pretty excited about it.
And I think that's coming up later this week, Friday of this week, December 11th.
Right.
Tell us what's going to be happening.
We're friends with the owners of Cultured Coffee downtown, and they've graciously allowed to let us use space there to just bring some people and
hang out, drink coffee, play games, talk about God.
Board games.
Fun. Yeah, exactly. It's a perfect night.
Yeah, so it should be fun.
And what about funding? When you're talking about things like Grocery Day, which first brought you in, Trixie, how can people donate, and what kinds of things do you need? Do you need groceries? Do you keep a pantry? Is it financial support? What kinds of that kind of support do you need?
We would take whatever people wanted to give us. As far as the food is concerned, food and clothing, we will always take, but we again, we partner with Urban Arc, so that food and clothing would be provided to them for their food and clothing giveaways. Or if we have somebody in our ministry who we know has an immediate need, then of course that would go to them. And then, financial donations are always appreciated. And you can make a donation on our website. There's a link to PayPal through our website. So.
Okay, just go straight to, we think it's risinghopecanton.org.
Right.
And look for the donate
button. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we are a 501c3, so any contributions are tax exempt. So.
Okay, and there at McGregor School, is that also where you keep things like clothing in the pantry and so forth?
No,
Can people
we have
drop things off?
No, we have 2 garages at our house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which have kind of been taken over by donations for Rising Hope. So we keep that stuff.
You live there, but the farm is it's all of ours.
Yeah.
Is there a phone number to reach you?
Yes. Chad's phone number would be the best way, 330-417-3573.
Okay. Repeat that one more time, please.
330-417-3573.
I can't believe our time's almost up. Final thoughts. Tell us a little bit about just what it means to you at this point. I mean, I know you're still serving as an attorney, and I know things don't sometimes feel like they connect, but in ways they do, and nothing ever is wasted.
Right.
Do you find that your background in law now serves you and serves this ministry in any way in reaching people, or is that a side vocation, side interest? How does this all come together for you?
I don't consider it a side interest or a side vocation because I think everything that I've gone through in my life has been leading me up to this point.
Yes.
So, it's interesting. A couple of years ago for a client, I had to do actually a tax exempt application, and I begrudged every step of it and wanted to pass it off to a CPA, but ended up doing it. And it's funny because we found ourselves a couple years later doing the same application for ourselves. And I thought, God was preparing me even then, and I just didn't realize it. So, I think it's all connected in a lot of ways that I don't even see yet. And I just, God has even more in store. He's still continuing to put dreams in Chad and I about what the future looks like, and so we just try to take it one day at a time and be obedient and really kind of listen to him and where he's leading us.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
It's just so exciting to see these kinds of ministries rising up, and then Rising Hope is definitely one of them. Jamie Miner, Trixie, and also to Chad Miner, who's busy watching your boys in the other room. Thank you so much for being with us today on Our Community.
Thank you.